The significance of sexuality in humans is a topic that has been explored for decades. Since the days of Sigmund Freud and his obsession with such behavior, humanity has learned just how much of a driving factor intimacy can be for humans, especially women. But there are a couple of important sexual psychology facts that influence women that you've probably never heard of. Let's dive in.
Fearless Forge.
Number 1. The sexual pleasure centers of women. When it comes to women, the main pleasure organ is perhaps one of the most important organs that many cannot really relate to. It's for this reason that men often struggle to understand how this works with women. Well, this sexual organ is said to have about 9,000 nerve endings which come together, double the amount found in male sexual organs. What this means is that it's perhaps the most important biological epicenter for pleasure when it comes to women, and playing with it is something that women truly desire deep down. A stimulated feminine organ is the number one way to help a woman finally reach her climax, which is mostly characterized by between 5 and 15 contractions that happen as these nerves send signals throughout the body and finally to the brain. In essence, the only true way to satisfy a woman when in bed is to give attention to this specific organ. You'll notice that women truly love this, and when they do eventually reach their climax, it can last from 10 to 30 seconds depending on the intensity. But this also has a profound psychological effect on women. Number 2. Psychological effects of clitoris stimulation. Much like men, whenever a woman does orgasm, it can bring a sense of sexual liberation, which is designed to make her embody the femininity that she's supposed to carry with her in life. Not only does the clitoris bring incredible satisfaction, but it brings a deeper connection with the person they are experiencing this sensation with. One of the reasons why women tend to become more clingy after a sexual interaction can directly be traced back to this phenomenon, and women will see the partner who's liberated them from this sexual tension as the person they want to spend their life with. Keep in mind that there are varying degrees of orgasms, which have varying degrees of impact on the brain. Number 3. Biological sign of sexuality revealed by the beard. Have you ever noticed that women tend to love a man who sports a full beard? The thing about such a beard is that it actually has a direct connotation to the level of sexuality that a man generally carries with him. Studies have shown that during peak times of sexuality, the beard of a man tends to grow much faster, and this can be explained by how testosterone is affected during these times of sexual activity. It's for this reason that women biologically perceive a man with a beard as being more fertile and carrying the possibility of fostering children. Now, this doesn't mean you should go out and grow a beard. You should always focus on the style that you feel the most comfortable with when it comes to looking like the best version of yourself, and this will definitely have an impact on how women perceive you. But you're bound to notice an increase in the speed at which your beard grows when you're constantly in the middle of sexual interactions. Number 4. Satisfaction with their partner's sexual organ. One of the biggest misconceptions in life is that women want a man with a massive sexual organ, and many men believe that they need to do everything, including taking risks with their health to increase the size. Unfortunately, this is just a misconception and not something you need to worry about too much. A recent study has shown that around 83% of women are fully satisfied with the size of their partner's sexual organ, and building on this study, it found that someone who uses it to the level of experience they have counts much higher. A man with experience can turn a woman on, and since her biggest pleasure center is the and not on the inside of the it doesn't truly matter. In fact, a woman might not be comfortable when it's too large, and this can even cause some physical pain. But there is one more secret about sexual intimacy and women that does relate to how satisfied she'll be. Number 5. An emotional connection is important. One thing that differs between men and women is the way their brain reacts to such pleasurable or sexual encounters. While meaningless sexual encounters might benefit men, it doesn't truly have such a profound effect on women, and once the deed has been performed, studies have found that many women feel a sense of shame. What women truly desire is an intimate and deep emotional connection that provides safety for their emotions once they sleep with her. It's for this reason that two men can sleep with the same woman and have the same exact encounter, but her experience will be far better with one than it is with the other. Unfortunately, this means that if you truly want to satisfy a woman and give her the best possible experience, she needs to feel a sense of closeness, or at least some form of connection between the two of you. This will give her safety in the encounter, and she's far more likely to fall in love and have an incredible orgasmic experience. Number 6. The power of self-esteem. One thing that often goes under the radar when it comes to sexual satisfaction is the way in which self-esteem plays an important role. Now, you've probably seen that people with low self-esteem often don't feel as great inside after intimate moments, and this is due to feeling used and remaining unfulfilled. While men can often block out these thoughts, women find that when they have low self-esteem, the intimacy simply doesn't live up to the expectations, and regardless of how good you are in bed, they often struggle to feel the same fulfillment. The woman must feel like this is not only a use and abuse situation, but rather something that embodies love, or at least shows progress of some emotional connection between the two parties. This will significantly increase the dopamine response when a woman does reach her climax, and it can significantly improve the sexual interaction between the two parties. Once the emotional connection does seem solid, women are far more likely to have the same powerful response to orgasm as their male counterparts do. But did you know that physical intimacy can actually boost low self-esteem, especially in men? Number 7. The dopamine effect. Dopamine is the most powerful neurotransmitter in the human brain, and it's responsible for things like drive and motivation among both men and women. However, dopamine can not only be found in things like sugary foods and receiving some form of validation, but in sexual encounters as well. Once an orgasm is released from the body, the brain automatically releases volumes of dopamine that flood the brain and give you that feeling of success and accomplishment. It's for this reason that both men and women can be truly addicted to this type of encounter, especially when they're dealing with low self-esteem issues. Many experts and dating professionals recommend that both men and women, especially those in a relationship, make sure that the sexual nature of the relationship is good and that both parties are truly invested when it comes to such behaviors. This will create a healthy relationship with both parties being motivated to have fulfilled lives. Number 8. Sexual intimacy is healthy. Aside from the release of dopamine in the brain, which makes both parties happy, regular intercourse also has added practical health benefits, which will have significant psychological benefits for the person. You see, sexual encounters are a physical activity, and not only does it take effort to perform, but studies have shown that those who regularly engage in sexual activities also burn a lot of calories in the process. If you don't like exercise, this can be an activity that will most likely get you excited, and you'll also reap physical and psychological benefits from it. There have also been plausible studies suggesting that men who regularly engage in such activities also tend to be more successful and less likely to suffer from heart conditions. Number 9. Every part of the body becomes more sensitive. You should understand by now that the specific sexual organ will be far more sensitive during an interaction, but there are thousands of other nerve endings in the body that become extremely sensitive when two parties engage in sexual activities. Another study has shown that the hands, which are also riddled with nerve endings, tend to become far more sensitive, and when two people touch each other's hands during sexual encounters, it can significantly enhance the stimulation. This is true for kissing and even caressing the other person. Once you have such forms of sensitivity, you'll also trigger the brain to feel a sense of trust between both parties. It's for this reason that a woman might get truly addicted to you when your sexual connection is actually satisfying. Number 10. Women will change their personalities during sexual activity. Finally, many men look at a woman and they think that she's some sort of princess who can't do anything wrong. They often think this woman is too shy to do anything perversely sexual and will be boring in bed. However, women tend to lose a sense of time and reality when they're turned on, and they often forget about how they usually act when fully controlled. This animalistic nature has been proven by science to take over, and she might become far more sexual once she's aroused. The reason why many women choose men who disrespect them is simply the freedom of being themselves and not having all these expectations. Armed with these 10 powerful facts about intimacy and human nature, every one of your sexual encounters should now be powerful. Make sure that you focus on the clitoris and create an emotional connection. But if creating an emotional connection is tough, make sure to check out the next video on how sexual positions could help improve your love life.